Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the MCC MENA COACHATHON. My name is Malik Al-Qadiri, and I'm the president of Kuwait chapter, ICF Kuwait chapter. And this is the FTC MENA COACHATHON, the first initiative of its kind in the MENA region and taking place during the ICW, extending week after. So the COACHATHON started from May, and this is today is the last day. It is a series of life coaching demonstration run by top master coaches, MCCs in the MENA region, providing a unique opportunity for you to fully immerse yourself in a practical application of coaching and develop and deepen your coaching skills and learn firsthand from the best coaches in the MENA region. We started with the 17th session already done by MCCs from ICF Qatar, UAE, Egypt, Bahrain, Oman. And today will be the ICF Kuwait chapter session, and it will be with Master Coach Randa Karime. And above I present Randa, I would like to remind you that this session will be for 60 minutes total, 30 minutes for the demo and 30 minutes debriefing and question. And those who will attend the session till the end, they will receive 1.5 continuous coaching education unit. And who attended all the sessions of the master coaches, the COACHATHON, will receive almost 27 CCEUs. Today also at 6 o'clock will be the last session for Dr. Osama Al-Musa from Jordan chapter. And I would like now to present Randa, our master coach in Kuwait chapter. Welcome, Randa, and Randa is coming from a corporate world. Randa has 22 years of experience in human resource field and people development. 7 years ago, she embarked on a coaching journey and specialized in career, leadership, and performance coaching. She earned the MCC designation in 2021 and the ACTC advanced certification in team coaching in 2023. Randa has a passion to transform people through highlighting their self-awareness, unlocking their full potential, and hence reaching their goals. Welcome, Randa, with us, and please, if you can start.
Thank you so much, our President Maliha, for the introduction. So as Ms. Maliha said, my name is Randa Karime. I'm an MCC and an ACTC with an extensive experience in the corporate world, which I left it all to join the Coaches Circle Academy in Canada as a master certified coach. And we actually certify people to be coaches from ICF, and I'm the director of training in Kuwait, and we have launched our first academy here in Kuwait. And I would like to welcome you all, and hopefully you can benefit from this session. Now we're going to have a coaching demo at an MCC level, and then we're going to go into breakout rooms whereby you're going to discuss the highlights of the session and gather your questions so we can do the debrief once we are back from the breakout rooms. In the meantime, if you have any question, any feedback, anything you would like to highlight, you can go ahead and put it in the chat box, and I will directly answer all of your questions at the end of the coaching session.
Yeah, I would like to highlight that this session will be recorded. Whoever doesn't want to be shown, he can turn off his camera and even change his name and her name and put a question in the chat box. Yes, welcome, Arib, our coach also in ICF.
So Ms. Arib will be our client today. So we'd like to invite everyone to turn your camera off so we can start the session.
Hey, hello, everyone.
Hello, Arib. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, Randa. How are you?
I'm great. Arif, thank you so much for trusting me to be your coach today. And before we start, if I may invite you to take a few moments to center yourself, maybe take a few deep breaths. And whenever you're ready, let me know.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Arif, what would you like to put on the table today that would add value to you?
I honestly would love to tackle this one issue that keeps coming up for me recently is the need to constantly keep working for me to feel I have value or for me to feel worthy of success.
Arif, thank you for sharing. It seems that this topic has been on your mind lately. This need to always be working to get this feeling that you have a value. And when you say value, Arif, what comes to your mind?
Useful. So it's always an inner dialogue between me and myself that as long as I'm working, I'm great, I'm excellent. But the minute I stop and take a break, or the minute I try to give myself a time off or anything like that, I find myself feeling guilty and feeling that I'm not doing something that is making me useful or of value to anyone. And so I end up battling with that during trying taking a break, but feeling guilty at the same time.
Okay. Okay. So there's a belief within you that if you don't work constantly, you will not be of an added value. And there's this guilt feeling whenever you stop working. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm curious, Arif, how is this guilt feeling serving you?
So far, it doesn't serve me to do anything but keep me working. Because I will find myself during my time off, I will reach for my laptop as soon as that guilt seeps in. So it has been a challenge for me and including for my family, especially when my husband says, well, we need some time off so that we can engage with other things in our lives. And I say, yes, but I can dedicate a small percentage of my day to work a little bit to make myself feel better.
Okay. And I'm wondering, what feeling would you rather have instead of this guilt feeling whenever you're not working? What feeling would you replace it with?
I would love to replace it with compassion.
Wow, compassion. And what does this compassion look like to you?
It's much more forgiving, lighter. Just having the space for me to actually rest and appreciate the rest so that I can keep going rather than feeling so heavy and burdened with the guilt. So it's the very opposite, really.
Would this lighter feeling look like a bird that is flying high instead of being burdened and having to stay on the ground?
I immediately saw an image of my head of a bird in a cage, actually. So the light feeling would definitely be the free one, and the guilty feeling is the bird in the cage.
Okay. And Arif, what makes it important to discuss this topic around compassion and feeling free and light at this moment in your life?
I find that this is a topic that has been coming up not just for me, but for my clients, the people I work with in corporate culture. We're seeing a lot of cases of burnout nowadays, and I realize I cannot fully guide my clients through it unless I work through it myself. And I would like to have better life balance for me,
Mhm. Mhm.
because I really don't want to fall for the narrative everyone keeps saying is there's no such thing as life balance. It's either work or not. So I kind of want to work through that, achieve something better, feel much more positive in terms of rest, in terms of work, and then be able to guide my clients through the same.
Arib, I have to acknowledge this value that you have, this commitment towards your clients, whereby you are looking for the best interest. And I'm curious, let's say we have a successful session today. How would this session look like to you?
Well, realistically, I'm thinking a successful session in this regard would be at least achieving a different point of view, a different perspective as to what I may need to work on in terms of feeling guilty and what I can do to challenge these thoughts when it comes to me in the moment.
So you're looking at having a different perspective that would allow you to feel light and be this bird flying.
Exactly.
Okay. And what would signal to you that we have reached this different perspective that you're looking for by the end of the session?
Whereby I can safely say, yes, I acknowledge what I previously feel, yet I would love to work towards the perspective we're reaching. So it would feel like the key for the cage in that case for me.
Okay. So the criteria will actually be finding the key that will free this bird from the cage. And what would be a good starting point for us to explore this key that you're looking for?
I guess the guilt, addressing this feeling of guilt and how to, I wouldn't say get rid of it, because it's difficult to get rid of emotions or feelings that you feel when it's heavy, but more how to manage through it. How do I guide myself through this feeling of guilt and I can still function?
And when you say manage through this guilt, this manage, what comes to your mind when you say this word?
I would say learning the skills I would need so that I can sit with the feeling, because we know that this is something that is necessary. We have to sit with it, but it's so uncomfortable that I try to push it away instead. So I'm too uncomfortable to sit with it. So I would say through management, it's about being able to sit in the feeling, being able to feel it, being able to work through it, that yes, I feel guilty, but acknowledge it. And hopefully the result is I can continue resting instead of grabbing my phone or my laptop or a book or something to make myself feel I'm engaging in something productive.
There's a word that you said that is stuck in my head when you said that you would rather replace this guilt feeling with compassion. And now you're saying that you want to sit in the guilt feeling or maybe accept this feeling. As I reflect this back, what's showing up for you?
I guess when I think of compassion and the relationship with sitting with your feelings, you can do so if you have the compassion, maybe. I think that's probably the key that's missing there. I'm very tough with myself. I hold myself to very high standards and expectations. So it's very easy for me to feel guilty over the slightest things, especially now as a mom. and a business owner and a coach and everything, I feel like I'm just never doing good enough for any part of my life or career. So maybe understanding what compassion would look like in this situation probably will help. It's easy to say be kind to yourself, but how?
Okay. And I'm seeing you smile as you are sharing about how compassion looks like. I'm wondering what's behind this smile?
I guess I just feel uncomfortable at the concept that I don't understand deeply how to truly feel compassion for oneself. There's this concept, be kind to yourself. There's a concept, take things one step at a time. We hear all the quotes, the motivational quotes, but in the heat of the moment, when you're in that guilt, when I'm in that moment where I feel like I'm drowning, I feel heavy. I've taken, for example, just recently, I took 2 days off because I was sick. And while I'm sick, I felt guilty for not working. I felt guilty I had to reschedule my clients. I felt guilty that I couldn't be 100% full energy with my daughter. And it felt heavy. And even though the people around me were not adding to the guilt, thankfully, they are very supportive and they say it's okay to take a break. It's okay, to slow down. Inside, I did feel heavy and burdened the whole time that I was recovering.
First, I hope that you're feeling better now. And second, I couldn't help but noticing that you are putting so much expectations on yourself. And I'm wondering, since you have this high awareness around what's happening with you, what needs to shift within Horeb to start accepting the guilt and start embracing the compassion that you're looking for, which is the key to your freedom?
I think that's the part I need to know.
So you
That's
need to,
where I'm lost.
You need to know what needs to shift within you, right? Okay. And you're saying that you're lost. Okay, I'm going to repeat. So you're saying that you're lost and that you want to know why you're having this guilt feeling and what needs to change within you, right?
I think I'm more lost as to what needs to change for me to stop feeling this guilt. I understand where the guilt comes from. It's the need to feel useful, the need to feel value. But how can we as human beings change fully in that term, in thinking that we shouldn't think we need to be valued or give added value?
Okay. So in terms of knowing what needs to change within you, if I were your client and I came to you with the same situation and I asked you, I don't know how I need to shift my mindset, what would be one advice you would give to me?
I would ask a question. What do you tell yourself during those moments?
So what do you tell yourself during those moments?
I see what you did there. Okay. I tell myself, get up, don't be lazy. Don't make excuses. You're just sick. It's just the cold. You're not dead. Get up and work. I have a very harsh saboteur, I would say, that works against me when it comes to these moments.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what I would do with my client in that situation when they share that with me would probably be, how can you reframe that?
So you said that you would tell your friend, get up, right? And asked your friend how she would reframe that. Okay. So that would be one option that would help to find the key for freedom.
So working on the script. So instead of saying, get up, don't be lazy, how much rest do I need to recover? Truly like answering that instead, probably. Then I can say, well, if I give myself at least today off, see how I feel tomorrow. It sounds less painful than telling myself, get up, don't be lazy.
Okay. What other thoughts might you have in terms of helping your friend?
I guess just asking them really, do they know how much work they do on a day-to-day basis? Do they journal their achievements? Do they keep track of their successes, their failures? Doesn't matter what it is, but having that concrete, I guess, visual of what I've accomplished, what I'm doing, might help. So whenever you're feeling like this, whenever I'm feeling guilty, whenever I'm feeling useless, or whenever I'm feeling lazy, to look back at how much I have accomplished so far. So having them really just sit in their visualization of how much they have already accomplished, and then ask them, do you think the person who accomplished all this deserve a break or not?
Great. So, Arib, may you please recap the advices that you would give to your friend in order to unlock her from this cage?
So definitely the three things that would pop into my mind is you're reframing your statements, catching yourself the minute you say something to yourself or think something negative to yourself, and reframe it immediately. Journaling the successes, achievements, accomplishments, finding a way that works for them, basically. And when in those moments, I would say go back to looking at all of the achievements that have been happening throughout time, basically, whether it's within 1 month or a year, and just visualize with that. See how that works in terms of helping you feel lighter.
Perfect. Are there any other options or a fourth one that comes to your mind?
The fourth one would obviously immediately be, well, after all of that, if it still doesn't work, immediately contact your coach.
Perfect.
But I would say, yeah, that's pretty much, so other than contacting your coach, having a support system, really.
And now that you're mentioning these four options, I'm wondering, this lost feeling, what happened to it now?
It's gone.
How
It's
are
very
you?
easy for us to think of solutions for other people, but when we think of ourselves, it's like block, mental block. Yeah, I think this is something even I can follow. I already do journaling. I love doing my checklists. I do have a very good support system around me, so that's a blessing. So really, I just need to work on my inner dialogue the most.
It seems that there's an insight from your part, Harib, and I'm very happy to be hearing that. Now, among these 4 options, which one are you leaning towards more? So you can start with first.
I think I'm going to start with the reframing. I'm wondering, like, because I already journal, if I can journal the things I used to say to myself in these moments and try to reframe them, but on paper, so that I can physically see it. So this is something I think I can start with and try.
Great. And what strengths would you call upon today that would help you to start reframing and, as you said, journaling?
Considering today I'm not in that dark place where I'm feeling guilty, I have been very productive today. I think this would be a good day to start writing down what I usually say to myself, and from a place of strength, what can I say different to keep it lighter? Okay. So at least I can refer back to it when I'm in the low moment.
Perfect. Harib, if I may invite you to take a few moments to recenter your thoughts. And I would like to check in with you. How are we progressing so far in terms of finding the key that will free this bird from the cage and make it fly?
I think I would say we successfully found the key. Now it's a matter of teaching the bird how to use the key to unlock the cage. So that's going to be with practice and application.
So teaching the bird how to actually use the key. Perfect. And what are you learning so far about the situation that you are in?
I think at the very beginning, when I mentioned I wanted to be more compassionate with myself, just the act of reframing and saying that, saying something like, well, you deserve some rest, you've been working hard, as opposed to don't be lazy, keep working. That is an act of kindness and compassion. So, because I wouldn't tell a stranger who's sick, get up and keep working, don't be lazy.
Exactly. And what are you learning about yourself, about Harib, from the discussion so far?
I'm tougher on myself than I would be on anyone else. So that's definitely something I need to reflect on.
And how will you translate these learnings about yourself and your situation into immediate steps, Harib?
I need to do some more inner work in terms of self-management, in terms of sitting in my feelings, my thoughts, acknowledging them for one, instead of pushing them away, because they keep coming back when I try to do that. I think best place to start is knowing that, yes, I am tougher on myself than other people, but I don't have to stay that way. I can teach myself how to be more compassionate, whether it's with journaling, with practice, or even checking in with my coach as well. I think as long as I don't give up on learning how to do that, it's achievable.
Great. And who will you be, Harib, when you are able to work on yourself, as you said, teach yourself to sit with this feeling and to be more compassionate? What would be different for you as a person?
I think I would be able to manage stress a lot more effectively, for sure. And in turn, if I'm learning how to manage that myself and my stress, I would set a better example for my daughter. and also be a stronger coach for my clients as well. So that would be the goal, definitely.
Mhm. Let's say we are a year from now, Arib, and you were successfully able to manage your situation, start journaling, reframing, accepting the feeling. Tell me, how will you be in a year?
Very free. Just thinking about that makes me feel light already.
So you
Def-
the bird that is
Yeah.
flying. And what would be possible for this bird that is flying so high, so light?
I think I would be able to just be able to progress on my goals in a much better way. Because right now, I do have goals, I set them, but sometimes when I get into moments where I'm riddled with my guilt, it's like it takes over and I don't see my goals anymore. So just having that clarity will give me more room for growth. And that is exactly what I'm aiming for, the constant ability to learn and grow. So,
Sensing this determination, as you're saying, having more clarity, and you know what you're going to be doing. And I'm wondering who might support you in this journey to have this clarity.
I do have a few of my closest friends who are also fellow coaches. So we always have sessions where we actually just sit and talk about these things. So I do have my sounding board. And that's what keeps me confident. Even when I hit a dead end, I feel comfortable because I know I'm not alone when I'm moving forward. And just having my support system around me, I feel this is possible. But at the end of the day, I cannot wait for them to tell me what's wrong. I have to figure it out too.
Absolutely. And if I may challenge you here, what obstacles might show your way and try to get you back to the guilt feeling and to the bird in the cage?
The fact that my guilt feeling helped me succeed so much in my life. It helped me through research studies. It helped me through homework, exams and everything. So my ability to push myself got me success as well. So that's something that might come up for me, that if things slow down, when I'm more compassionate, I might feel, well, you were doing better when you were tougher on yourself. So I think it's just a matter of that becomes another place for reflection, actually. Why am I trying to speed through everything?
So you would reflect around what's going on. Why are these obstacles showing up? Okay. And Arib, how do you feel or think differently now since we started the session?
Well, I'm pleasantly surprised. Usually I never bring up this topic because I always feel like it's a hopeless topic because everyone has this issue.
Yeah.
But it's nice to feel clarity as to what I can do, and it's tangible. So I'm feeling hopeful.
Great. I'm glad to be hearing that. And with this clarity that you're having now, how will you translate it into action outside of this coaching conversation?
I know the topic that I'm going to be using tonight for my journal. So I'm happy with that. And I think also another thing is contacting one of my friends who's also on her self-development journey to see if she wants to try to do this together so that I can have an accountability partner.
Wow, amazing. I would like to acknowledge your effort that you have done throughout the session. And I'm wondering, You started the conversation by saying that you were lost, and now I'm hearing you say that you have this clarity.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, who is this Arab that is talking now? And how is she different from the Arab that was talking 30 minutes ago?
Karime speaking now is someone who is no longer just buried in her own thoughts. I'm trying to look beyond myself, I would say, beyond my comfort zone. So,
Beyond yourself.
yeah, beyond myself. Because the comfort zone, whether we like it or not, no matter how much we leave it, we always come back to it. So with different topics. I think this is the one for me for here.
Actually, when you were saying, Arab, beyond yourself, I was seeing this lightness as you were sharing. So I would like to acknowledge that. And let me just, before we wrap up the session, let me check in with you. What was one main learning that you're taking away with you from the session?
One of the biggest thing I think from this session is I asked simply because I wanted help to sit with the feelings. I wanted to figure out what key needed to be found for the cage. And it did more than that. I came out of it with a tangible method of approach. I think that's the part that really, really hits me differently, is that there is an actual action plan I can follow.
And how committed are you on this action plan? Great. I'm happy to be hearing that. And I'm quite conscious about the time. So before we wrap up the session, is there anything else that you would like to express or share so that you feel complete?
I'm actually very comfortable ending the session here. I feel I do have a great clarity for me to move forward. I just want to thank you for giving me this space to share my thoughts and reflect on it.
Thank you so much. All the best, Arib.
You too.
Thank you so much. It was really, really very excellent session. يعني four papers of writing questions. Very. What do you feel, Randa and Uraib, about the experience, this journey of the session in COACHATHON? Please give us your feedback.
Let's start with our client, Arib.
Right.
It's been a while since I had aha moments in sessions, but this has been, I really love the experience. So thank you for that. It gave space for reflection. I really felt, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, so brave, and thank you. And Randa?
Well, actually, I felt very comfortable in the session, especially since the client has self-awareness around what's going on. She just wanted a little bit of push to gain more clarity around what to do next. So for me, it was a great session, and I would love to follow up with my client, maybe in another session, to see what has evolved.
Inshallah.
Yes.
Rana, yes. Is there any question, Rana, in the chat also can ask before we go to the breakout rooms?
Actually, I think I
Want to
don't know
play?
if is hearing us. Just one thing, because one of the participants was saying, are we allowed to ask about an advice? Actually, the coach was not the one who gave the advice. Now, this is a coaching question that we use to get the client to have more awareness. So we ask her, what if your friend was facing the same situation? What advice would you give your friend? So it was not the coach, it was the client who was trying to give advice. This is called mirroring, and we use it in coaching. Exactly, Lamis. This is called mirroring. Great. So how about we go into 10-minute or 15-minute breakout rooms whereby you discuss what happened in the session. You can write down your feedback or share it together, and then you can come back and ask me any question around why did I say certain things or ask certain things in the session, so we can have a debrief. How about that?
Yeah. Before we go, someone asked about the recording. Please follow ICF Kuwait chapter in the Instagram. So we will guide you where to find all the recordings by the help of, we want to, the help of MENA, the president of UAE, and also anyone who wants to say anything before we go there?